Star Wars Outlaws Accessibility Spotlight. This is an article that just came out yesterday, and it is kind of the developers talking about some of the gameplay elements and the settings that we'll be seeing coming to Outlaws soon in August. So I'm going to go through and read some of these that they have. There's a list of like visual settings, audio settings, and some of like the UI stuff. So I'm going to go through it and we'll talk about it, okay? All right, so here is the accessibilities features list. So we'll start off with the visual settings, high contrast settings, which removes all the color from the background, applies colors to important gameplay elements. We have colorblind settings, so by design whenever possible. So you'll see a few of the colorblind settings that we see a lot in games. Visual intensity, so we have a range of settings including screen shake, a depth of field, motion blur, so there's general motion blur, camera, and per object motion blur. I believe that these will be able to be turned off. These aren't just settings that are going to be stuck for the game, so you will be able to change these. So I have an FOV slider, which is the field of view, two different ones. So you have the default, which will probably just be your camera view, and then your aiming FOV. So that's also very exciting. The audio settings, so there's no audio reliance. So as important information is communicated by other channels in addition to sound. So for those that are deaf, you're not going to have to worry about not being able to see something or hear something from the game. So that's also very huge. I love that games are being very accessible for people that have disabilities and things. So this is huge. Subtitles for dialogue and background chatter with speaker names and optional directional arrows and configurable size backgrounds and colors. So again, games add subtitles all the time. And this game will also be adding subtitles. So good news. Dynamic range, so for control over volume differences between loud and quiet. Choice of audio channels, you can see the list right there. Separate volume sliders for the master, music, effects, voice, cinematic, controller, and menu narration, which is huge because I like to play the game sometimes without music. I don't know if a lot of other people are like that. I like to turn my music off when I'm playing games. I love that some of it will be Star Wars stuff, but for someone that likes to make content, you just avoid copyright, so it's always big. So we have the dynamic audio mix. You can read that there. There's audio descriptions for cinematics, so an optional narrated voiceover describing what is going on visually, English only. So positional audio cues, so showing the direction of nearby discovery opportunities such as loot or side quests. So we're going to be getting loot, which is something I thought we would definitely be getting. So you'll probably be like Jedi Survivor trying to find the crates to get probably cosmetics, probably like some skill points, maybe. I don't know if it's going to be skill points, but loot is mainly cosmetic stuff. So that's kind of big to see there. Well, on to the controls. So we have auto walk to keep moving forward until a button is pressed. So you can do the auto walk, or kind of how like Fortnite does. You just press a button, you just automatically move, which is kind of cool. PC supports for keyboard, mouse, and controller, and virtual keyboard via windowed mode. So again, nice to see that you can play controller on PC and keyboard and mouse. Keyboard and mouse remapping, so you'll be able to probably change your buttons that you want to do for some of the presets and stuff for the interactions and stuff for the game. Controller presets, so you'll probably see stuff like Southpaw, which you see in Call of Duty. That's just what I automatically think of, which is for left-hand dominant people. Sensitivity individual adjustable, so across your mouse, controller, camera lock, hip firing, speeder, and ship. So you can change all your sensitivities for your camera, again, for your firing your weapon, your speeder, and your ship, which is good. Camera inversion, you see that a lot. I don't know a lot of people that use camera inversion. You get to be able to change your dead zone, so your inner and outer for both sticks. Adaptive trigger intensity, that is for PS5 controllers only. Motion aiming, which is also for DualSense only, which is also PS5. Auto align camera to horizon and movement direction. You'll probably just be able to hit like a button, it'll just center your camera. Toggle sprint, so again, someone like Fortnite or Apex, you get to just hit a button and you just sprint and just move forward without having to hold the button down. Fine control over vibration strength with sliders for each type of information. Change holds to presses. So this is like Fortnite where you want to open a chest, you just hit the button and it'll open instead of having to hold the button. So again, that's some of the control stuff that you'll be seeing. Now we get to see stealth and combat settings. So multiple difficulty presets with an extremely forgiving story setting. So there's going to be a list of a few difficulty settings. So it'll probably be like story mode, easy, medium, hard, maybe super hard. And it seems like there's going to be a very forgiving story setting, which is what we saw in Jedi Survivor, where the enemies are a little more easy, especially for people that just want to just enjoy the story and not have to worry about too challenging of a combat setting. There's also individual difficulty settings for enemies, player health, and wanted difficulty, which is kind of cool to see. So you can play like high level enemies, have your player health be a little low, and then play high wanted difficulty, which I think is going to be kind of interesting, which I think I might even be someone that might play on that just for the fun. But that's kind of cool to see, so I like that. Aim assist toggle strong by default. There's probably going to be aim assist for controller, maybe PC when it comes to firing in your ship. I thought I saw something in the beginning of the article saying aim assist is confirmed for like aiming your weapon and flying in your ship. So option to hold rather than repeated pressing for firing your blaster. So you can just hold your button instead of having to keep spamming your trigger on the button, or maybe your mouse if you want to do that. I play in controller, so I'll probably be talking about controller a lot. Different playstyles supported through unlockable blaster fire modes. So that's kind of cool. So it seems like once you probably progress through the story, you'll be unlocking different versions to shoot with your weapon. It was confirmed in the gameplay trailer that I saw 3 of the shooting modes. So it's like a stun mode, a regular blaster mode, and I think like a sniping mode. I can't believe I have to go back and watch it, but there is 3 settings that will be used for the blaster fire mode. So that's kind of cool. Adrenaline rush feature, so it allows targeting of enemies with low precision and time pressure. I'm not too sure to see what this one is going to be about. I've never really heard about this in a game. If anyone really knows what this is talking about, let me know, because I'm kind of confused on that, but that seems like something that'll probably be very interesting if it's something that I think it's going to be about. It's an auto perfect reloading option, so it seems like there's going to be almost like a skill check to reload your weapons, almost like Battlefront 2. Like you can just make it so you automatically perfect reload. So for people that don't want to do that and want to have an easier option when it comes to reloading, there's a setting for you. There's stealth assist as well, so threat sense awareness icons and visualization of enemy footsteps on by default but can be turned off. So it is a Ubisoft game, so if anyone's played Assassin's Creed where it has like the arrow that you can see that fills up when like an enemy is seeing you, that is probably something similar that we'll be seeing here. Now on to the navigation and traversal settings. A big one here, we get to see fast travel between discovered locations. Pretty big. I think it's going to be similar to Jedi Survivor with maybe like checkpoints and stuff throughout like the locations of the maps on the planets. You'll probably be able to fast travel back and forth to different planets as well, just like Jedi Survivor. Safe climbing, not possible to accidentally fall, so you won't be getting shot off of your ladders or when you're climbing in general. So it's not possible to fall off the ladder, which I don't know if people are going to like that. I mean, I don't really care. It's not that big a deal. I'm sure some people will be mad about that, but it's not that big of a deal. Auto ledge grab with no overly long distances to jump. So it seems like maybe if you're just doing toggle sprint and you want to run over a ledge or something, you'll just be able to auto ledge. Straightforward grappling with a large hit areas and auto dismount. There are some shots in the trailer, a grappling thing where you can go up and you can go down. I saw something in the trailer that you will go across as well. So auto object avoidance and ledge guard on foot and speeder. So it seems like you can put a setting where if you're just driving around, maybe it will just control itself so you're not running into things. And same thing with a ledge, so maybe you don't fall off a ledge, I think. So that's probably what I'm going to assume that is. Health regeneration for environmental speeder damage. Your health will replenish when you maybe run into something or maybe you take damage on your speeder. That's what I'm going to take from that. In-world map markers can be toggled on permanently, so you can just always have markers on when you're looking at your map. Onto the space settings now. So damage from colliding with objects can be turned off. So maybe I think here that if it's like you're running into a ship or maybe there's going to be a meteor section that you are in, similar to what we see in Empire Strikes Back. Maybe we could be seeing that as well. I think that'd be kind of cool. But you can turn off the damage with colliding with objects. So it's kind of cool. Stuns from ion weapons can be turned off. To me personally, I am not turning that setting off. I just think that's for a forgiving challenge or a forgiving gameplay elements if you're playing on a lower difficulty. So I am not going to turn that off, but it's cool that you can turn it off for people that don't want to bother with it. Self-righting to automatically bring the ship back to the horizon. So again, it's kind of similar to your camera, but I think if you press a button, your ship will just automatically go straight to the horizon instead of like, say you're going forward, it'll probably just bring it straight down. So I think it's kind of cool. Incremental throttle, so you can tap up and down instead of holding it. I think that's kind of cool. So you can just tap it a little bit and you can go up and go faster, or you can slow down and tap it, go down. Choice between toggle and hold for speed boost and shooting, pretty self-explanatory. Flexible combat style, so including strong aim assist and pursuit mode to adjust view and speed to follow targets. I think that's kind of cool because you can probably just change your aim assist if you want it to be a little smaller when you're in your ship. There's no showing how strong the aim assist is in this game yet, so I guess we will just see when the game comes. Motion sickness considerations throughout design of many enemy maneuvers and speed adjustments, so it seems like you can probably just turn off this motion settings for maybe motion blur and just make it so people don't get motion sick, which I like when they do that for games as well. We have mini games, so individual difficulty settings for the timing, precision, and level of visual assistance for each mini game. So it'll probably almost be similar to Survivor with some of their stuff, or maybe closer to like Marvel Spider-Man with some of the mini games that you get to do and some of like the clues and stuff that you get to do. So I guess we'll just see when it comes. Pretty exciting that we get to see more of those things, so I like it. For Nyx, there's additional vocal and visual cues from Nyx for nearby enemies, loot, etc. So it seems like Nyx will be either making noise or maybe he'll just jump up and down, similar to like how BD would just run to a spot and just have, if you wanted to scan it, he would just run to the spot. So I think that's kind of cool. Nyx orders allowed automated interacting, pickpocketing, attacking, and picking up, including during stealth, through large, low precision target areas. So there was shown in the gameplay trailer that Nyx will be able to do things on command. So if you want him to go pick up a weapon of an enemy you just defeated, he will bring that weapon back to you. And I think it looks like you can just do it automatically. So say you just defeated an enemy, Nyx will bring it to you regardless. So I think it's kind of cool. All right, and then the last thing that we're going to look at here is the menus and HUD. We'll just go through this pretty quickly. Accessibility presets for finding and turning on common combinations of accessibility settings. Menu narration, color blindness presets, clear default fonts, larger and smaller text options, replace stylized text with a regular font, increase contrast options, replace holds with taps across the interface, control reminders of important controls directly on the HUD, and configurable HUD, so it will allow you to control some of the elements that are shown, whether to show the compass, map orientation, center your dot, and whether to add a plain contrasting background behind all HUD elements. So we get a pretty early look at that we get to see with some of this stuff coming for Outlaws. Again, we will be seeing more of Outlaws at Ubisoft Forward on June 10th, and Outlaws will be launching on August 30th. For more gameplay and news and other videos for Outlaws regarding it before the release and when the game comes out, go ahead and follow me, subscribe, or just go ahead and share the video with your friends to let you know Star Wars Outlaws is looking to be pretty exciting. So we will see more on June 10th when it comes to Outlaws. So thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later.